6 years, 2,000 plus days, 1,000 plus coffee, and then a lot of sweat and tears. Finally, I get my doctor title. You might be wondering, you love research so much, or you just want to escape the society, escapism, you don't want to work in 9 to 5, you're thinking to extend your knowledge, to step up, to do a postgraduate study in PhD, or your auntie during Chinese New Year say that, Kelvin, boy, girl, you should study more. You see, my kid got a round head PhD, mushroom head, triggered by your aunties during Chinese New Year, or your neighbor, they talk, making you thought that you want to do a PhD. In this video, you'll find my full experience and my full journey on what is PhD about, whether you should do it, the experiences, what are the key takeaways during this whole 6 years of PhD journey, before and also after. Hope you guys will find lots of information and in-depth details on what you might miss out before jumping into the hole. Let's dive into this video today. Yo, what's up guys and girls, I'm Kelvin ZenZen. Welcome back to another weekend video. Today's video, it will be a chill one, and then we'll have a casual tone, like talking you friend to friend. You are my close friend, by the way. I'm sharing a chronological timeline on what are the checkpoints during my full PhD journey. For your information, my background is actually electrical and electronic engineering, which so-called EEE, and I'm doing my PhD in UK education system. The UK system actually allows a bachelor degree holders with 3 years or even 4 years, mostly 3 years though, because their engineering courses in UK is only 3 years. If you have good enough potential, your supervisor recognize you, you can jump from bachelor degree straight away to PhD, as long as you have supervisors offer you the opportunity and the projects that you are interested in. In my personal case, I go from bachelor degree directly to PhD, with 1 year gap year in between, where I went to industry to have a full-time work. My process is 3 years bachelor degree, 1 year industry experience, and continue with 6 years of full-time PhD. Where during my 6-year full-time PhD, my last 2 years, I'm actually working in the industry because it's so-called thesis correction period. I have my official registration on PhD during February 2019. And full-time PhD, actually the maximum limit is 4 years. You can calculate that 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23. So it's totally 4 years. In April 2023, which is after 4 full years, I submitted my thesis. And normally, after thesis submission, a PhD candidate will be pending for Viva. Viva is a process where a panel of examiners, they'll examine, they'll check on your research work, they'll ask you questions, challenge your research to make sure you really understand what you are doing and you can defend yourself well. Normally, people who says that I've defended my Viva successfully means that they are already recognized as a doctor. In April 2023, after I submitted my thesis, my Viva actually dropped on June 2023 on the same year. So I have like 2 to 3 months to prepare my presentation and get really into my thesis, understand each page, each paragraph, each lines, what does that means. To get myself super familiar with my thesis, in case they ask anything, I'm able to tell which page, which paragraph says this or that. Because research is like you do it yourself, right? You should actually understand what you're doing. After Viva, normally a candidate will be categorized into like they passed the Viva without any corrections. There's very rare cases, or they have minor corrections they need to modify. Normally minor correction take around 3 months. But then my case is on major correction, which I can take up to a year to complete it. Then after June 2023 until the next year, May 2024, I'm working on my thesis correction. So in essence, during April 2023, I already applied for a full-time job because money is everything. I already bankrupt already doing this PhD. So I get myself involved into full-time job, engineering job back in Malaysia. So 1 year into my job, during the weekend, I will do some thesis corrections, back and forth. I will submit to my supervisor to review, and my supervisor will feedback to me, these things you need to change, these things you are doing good. Also, there's a form that I need to fill up on which paragraph I changed, the old one and the new one, what is the amended version. In the May 2024, I submitted my full thesis corrections, and around in the August 2024, I got my confirmation that my thesis is fully approved by the examiners and I'm recognized and I'm awarded my PhD. So happy that day when I received the email. And after that, I'm registered into the graduation ceremony, which falls in the subsequent year, February, which is February 2025. So after all, overall, the full process takes around 5 to 6 years. After you guys understand what is the chronological process of PhD studies, I'll talk about the key areas that you'll involve yourself in when you are doing a PhD. There's a few key things I'm going to talk about. It includes supervisors, your research journey, your publication and your joining conferences, your lab tutors, and you're going to help on some of the university academic stuff. And last, someone can involve in the education network or help with the university on some voluntary events. That's of course not compulsory for everything, and in order to keep yourself active and your brain have some time to rest, a good thing is involve yourself in some kind of events that is not related with your research work. Otherwise, your brain 24/7 it will cramp up and then you'll cry. Selecting or having a good supervisor along your PhD journey is super critical. It is like a life and death situation. I'll tell you what it means. I'm fortunate enough to have a very good supervisor across my PhD journey, which he supports me a lot, be it mental health, or is it physical health, or is it my personal life that I needed. He will always give me some life advice. He's very experienced. Shout out to him. Normally a supervisor role is to supervise a PhD candidate and make sure the PhD candidate write as much publication, as much journal as possible. Why? Because these all publications will contribute to the supervisor KPI. If the supervisor is at the edge, at the verge of promoting into assistant prof or professor, their PhD student need to work super hard to write a lot of papers. Actually, there's both sides. You can see it. On the bright side, it's actually very good. You get yourself involved in the writing process, academic writing. It'll give you tons of experience on journal writing, academic writing. You can learn quite a lot of knowledge in this area. But the cons, another side is you're already struggling with your research. You're not getting good results. You're not progressing. And you still need to stress about writing a paper which you don't have any results. I've seen some of my friends going through those process is actually very heartbreaking. So the key to having a good PhD journey is to have a good supervisor. Secondly, is actually the publication and conference. In my own case, I only have the chance to attend one conference in my very first year of PhD, because we know that after my first year 2019, 2020 is actually global pandemic. This COVID-19 hits, everyone stay at home. Publication and joining conferences have a few categories of paper writing and submission. I will not go too deep into that area because it is actually a big topic by itself. In general, a publication can be articles, it can be conference paper, or it can be a journal. The process for reviewing is actually quite long. After you have some experimental results which is novel enough, you'll start to draft a manuscript, so-called manuscript. After writing, your supervisor will review it, and then after it passes, you can submit to a journal. Normally, it will take around 6 months to 2 years, depends on which journal you submitted to. So it is a good practice to submit as much as possible so that by the end of your PhD journey, when you submit thesis, you can actually have a long list of publications. Of course, there will be different rankings for different publishers, for different journals. Again, we won't go too deep into those. The next thing we are going to talk about is, as a PhD candidate, we are responsible to help out in our faculty. In my case, as an engineering PhD candidate, I need to attend tutorial workshops and also be a lab assistant. Holding a role to be a lab assistant or tutor, we need to attend some of the classes to help students and then to explain to them how to solve their exercise. As a lab assistant, we need to take care of the student safety in the lab and also go through with them what are the steps and what are the experiments that they are going to do during that session. We also need to help to mark their exercise and also their lab report per se. PhD student is not free, I'm telling you. Don't think they just do their research work and then setting up experiment and see the result and happy go lucky. It's not like that. Research work actually consists only 10 to 20% of their time. Other time, they are mostly working on other stuff, attending conference, getting their supervisor happy, making friends, and go and chill. Alright, So the last thing I'm getting myself involved is actually Student Association Network. I'm very fortunate enough to get elected as the Student Postgrad Officer in Student Network. The benefit of involving myself in this education network is that I can get to know a lot of professors, lecturers, get a huge network connection. Also, I can get to involve myself in a lot of meetings where they discuss how to improve the postgrad student welfare. With that being said, because that time is pandemic, a lot of the postgrad students are staying at their hometown or they are staying in the hostel. So we couldn't get a lot of activities, a lot of events going on. So I'm trying to see how can we connect the student virtually. Few key things I learned from the process is how to talk with stakeholders, how to talk with professors, and how to tell them, convey them the student problems, the issues, the welfare things the student face in an effective manner so that they can understand and try to help us. I'm happy that I can bring positive impact to the postgrad student at that time.
When I saw you on the dance floor, oh, I saw you who saw me first. I guess it's
right after I share how's the PhD journey looks like and what are the key components that shape a PhD journey, next I'm going to share about what I gained and what I lost by doing a PhD. I'll first talk about the thing that I gained. The thing that I gained most importantly is a strong mindset, because like I said, PhD journey is a marathon. It's not like a sprint, okay, 100 meter, no, it's something like 100 km. Initially when I started PhD, right, I keep thinking that how can I finish this quick, how can I finish this fast? But whenever I try to do something fast, some hiccups and difficulty hits me hard, and then I suffer a lot because I'm rushing to finish it. Until towards the end of the PhD journey, I try to calm myself down, say, take time to do this thing wisely, don't try to rush things. The first thing that I gain is strong mindset. Secondly is leadership value. This is through my experience as a student postgrad officer, handling a lot of events, meetings, communications, stuff like that. The third thing I learned is critical thinking skill and research skill, of course. This all comes into play when I repeat myself by doing analytical thinking on the research and the problem and the novelty and the results that I get. Because my background is actually EEE engineering and my research is doing this audit learning and AI stuff. So a lot of thinking process comes into play. With different analytical thinking, different thought model, I will actually arrive at different conclusions. So this is very critical to compare what is different across the board. Last but not least, I'm fortunate and I'm happy that I've built some friendships, some bondings across the PhD journey, and I've met some really nice friends. Because pandemic, right, all of people just stay at home. I'm lucky enough that during my last year of PhD, while I'm still in the university before moving out to other state for full-time work, I'm able to meet some of the best friends in my PhD journey that I will keep for a very long time. You know, it's actually quite challenging to find someone that share the same personality and have a close characteristic with you. Regardless of what stage in life, people doesn't always make new friends, you know. So I'm feeling quite fortunate. I have a deep gratitude and grateful that I'm able to meet this group of friends that is very supportive for my PhD journey. We support each other, by the way, although some of them graduated earlier, but overall, those are friends that I'll never forget throughout my life. They are the important role model that plays a crucial role during my PhD. Next, let's talk about the loss. I wouldn't consider this as loss anyway. It is something to do with time. By doing a PhD, I lost in time and also I lost in industry experience because my friends, my bachelor degree colleague, after they graduate, right, they go straight into the industry. And then I spent 6 years in university for PhD. They already gained like 6 years of industry experience. Some of them even get promoted to senior manager or even director or VPs already. Besides that, I believe that some of them already accumulated a large sum of portfolios of investment. So by comparing these all things, give and take, I believe that I'm slower compared with some of my colleagues before.
And I'm wearing my worn out jeans. What could go wrong?
In the final section, I'm going to share with you what are the verdicts of a PhD journey. I believe we need to define the why before we jump into these things. Why do someone want to consider a PhD? Is it due to passion in research, due to money, due to famous, due to the doctor title, or due to family etc. So define the why first before you jump into this decision. Don't rush. When you finish your PhD, definitely you are going to look for a job, right? When you're applying for job, the HR will look at you as you are overqualified and underexperienced. So it is in a tough situation, and that's awkward how they are going to deal with you. If you're okay to start from fresh, that's totally fine. But some people might think that, I have 6 years of 4 to 6 year research experience, then why do I want to start from the beginning? Of course, some MNC company, when they see a match in your skill set with their requirement, of course they'll promote you, they'll offer you a competitive position, but that's very rare. Next, let's talk about passion. Your passion in research, so you decide to do a PhD. Yes, that is right and wrong at the same time. Because like I said, PhD journey is just 20% research and 80% is consists of other things, a bit of this and that, and you learn some diverse skill. Doing a PhD builds myself a strong mindset. It is like a character or personality shaping journey. By the end of the PhD, you'll find yourself thinking differently, your overall brand and the thought process compared with other people, you have a very deep analytical thinking skills. You are more prominent to work under a stressful environment where someone might think that this doesn't work, but you think differently. You have a different tech. Again, if you want to solve world-class problem and you want to be professor, continue your career growth inside academia, it's all good. You have a passion, go and do a PhD. Other than that, buy a house to own a family, get a good car at 30 years old, no, you shouldn't do a PhD. Instead, you should just get a job and be very good at it. End of the day, end of the video, as a summary, do I regret doing a PhD? No, I wouldn't regret it. I love it. But if you ask me the question, will I do it again? Probably I wouldn't do it again though. So please remember that understand what you are doing before you commit to it. 2 questions to ask yourself. First, your own ego. Do you want the doctor title only, or you actually want the journey? I will tell you what, the doctor title will gone in 2 weeks from your head, definitely gone. No one will just remember your doctor. But your work, your PhD work, research work actually stays for 4 years. You'll get headache definitely. So which one do you actually want? Secondly is the time test. Are you okay to be behind your friend when you are doing PhD? 4 years to 6 year gap is not less, I'm telling you, honestly and truthfully. If you're okay, then by all means, please go ahead. If you're not okay, you're feeling stressed or you are feeling jealous of your friend who's ahead of you, you should actually not do it. As a PhD graduate, I'm going to tell you that PhD is all about self-consciousness and a lot of mindset growth. It is not the doctor title at all. It shapes you into a better person to deal with the future world. Right, end of the video. I hope this is an enjoyable one and I hope you guys get a lot of information, a lot of value out of this video. And please comment below. Let me know that if you have any further questions about PhD journey, please comment below. I'll definitely reply one by one. Don't worry about that. Other than that, if there's any future topics, any deep discussion that you're interested in, please kindly comment below. I might consider to make another video about it. So enjoy guys. Please have a good weekend ahead. Grab a cup of tea and enjoy the day. Don't stress a lot about it. It is a good weekend. Just enjoy your day, okay? Please remember to like, share, comments and subscribe if you haven't. Share this video to someone that you think will be very helpful to them. See you guys in the next one. Keep the positive vibes and be happy.
Make that smile when my heart starts racing when I'm with you.